Welcome in, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and test the sound on my end, wait for some of you guys to come in. We got a very important message this evening. Welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and test the sound on my... Okay, cool. So I could bring it up just a little bit more. It'd be great. Okay, so I will talk loud. Welcome in, Sister Sonia. Welcome in. Guys, when you come in, please subscribe to the channel and put a like on the video. We're going to go ahead and get started this evening. And, to be honest with you, there's just a few quick things to say. But see, sometimes when I start talking about aliens and hybrid children and all of these things, sometimes we think we went too far. But see, I literally got a confirmation about the message yesterday, which were the reptilians are coming to literally change our DNA. The New World Order timeline has been sped up for a reason. And so we're going to talk about that and what is causing the timeline to speed up. What systems have they put in place to literally, I'm saying it is a new world coming on the horizon. This is what we are going to talk about today. Welcome in, everyone. My name's Tahira, Mother of the Ages. I'm a supernatural quantum healer. I specialize in quantum telepathic healing modalities. And if you'd like to book a session with me, there'll be some links down below. And you can also email me at instructions4 humanity@gmail.com, guys. I'm going to wait for a few more of you guys to come in here. And then we will go ahead and get started. The wind is winding. I don't even know if that's the proper way to say it. The wind is winding. It's very windy out here. Come on in, guys. Come on in. We're going to talk really quickly about the days of Noah, because this is pretty much where we find ourselves. And there are beings, reptilians, fallen angels, aliens, whatever it is that you like to call it. But there are things that are coming into our biosphere to genetically change us, and I would say to genetically wipe us out. There is absolutely nothing new under the sun. I'm going to see if I can do this video quickly before my battery dies. Welcome in, Sue. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Okay, so yesterday, guys, first of all, let me just say this. Let's scale everything back. We've been doing the psychic investigation with Charlie Kirk. When I started this psychic investigation, I didn't know it would end up being a psychic investigation. I thought it would be like just a few videos and then that's it. But somehow, Source told me, no, stay on this, stay on this. I'm like, this is not really the kind of content I like to do. Although it is fun, though. And I met a lot of new people. But stay on this, stay on this. There's a bigger story here. And we're about 50 videos in, guys. You can check out the playlist, The Curious Case of Charlie Kirk. I wanted to say George Floyd because it's given the vibe that it's the same sort of energy. It's about to get deep, as if it has not already. But the first thing that I want to say is that Source said, no, I need you to stay right here. And as we started the investigation and we started to peel back the layers of all of these characters, right? And then the Candace Owens character was, that was the most perplexing character, because it's like, is she with us or is she against us? Is she for herself or is she for the people? We really couldn't figure it out. And the fact is, we're not to necessarily put her in one place or the other. But what it is, her and Charlie are literally sending out the last smoke signals. And I am telling you, 4 weeks ago, when I was channeling Charlie Kirk, I wrote down the word frost. And until this day, I couldn't figure out where that fit. But that was, sometimes I channel words, right? Or numbers. But that word came through very, very clearly. And I couldn't understand where that fit. But then I was Googling something today, and I ran across something. And I believe it's part of a movie, but the character name is Charlie Frost. I totally believe that this is the message that Charlie Kirk was trying to send to me. Now, let me tell you guys this really quickly. We'll get into the message what Charlie Kirk was trying to send to me, and then we'll pop back over and talk about the days of Noah and about the Nephilim that's coming. Because this is what we've been tracking throughout this whole psychic investigation. And all of these compelling characters are to lead us down literally a rabbit hole that leads to the deeper truth. Because nothing is new under the sun, and we have in fact done this before. Okay? So, what I want to say is that this character, I don't even know how this thing popped up, but the moment I saw Charlie Frost, I knew that this was the missing source link that I needed to complete the message. So I want to give you guys an update about where is Charlie, okay? Because remember, the whole situation was false. It was staged. That was staged. Charlie Kirk did not pass away that day. And remember what I'd always said very early on. I saw them doing something to his consciousness, siphoning the consciousness and possibly putting it into a new avatar body, some form of a civil rights, leader, of the future. That's what I saw. And so Charlie Kirk has been in this kind of gray area where it's like, yeah, we don't see him on the world stage, yet his energy is still around. However, starting last week, I started to get the vibe and the messages started to come in that they were already starting the transfer. As of you guys know that I saw something being taken from Charlie's brain. We saw that in the automatic drawing. And they've already started to take bits and pieces from the brain. And I believe that the consciousness transfer is underway. So what I'm going to say right now is Charlie Kirk's old body is no longer living. However, his consciousness, which is like the software, is about to go into another vessel. And when I came across this Charlie Frost, I don't even know how I came across it. And what it is, guys, I'm going to read it. It's weird. It's like quotes from a movie. And I don't even know what movie this is. But somehow I feel that this is the message that Charlie was trying to bring through when he said Frost. He wanted me to look up Charlie Frost. So I'm going to read what these two characters in this movie, I don't even know what movie it is. Woody Harrelson. I guess the name of the movie is Charlie Frost. So here are the quotes that I found online. It says, actually, maybe I should share this. Let me share this so that you guys can also see it. Okay, Charlie Frost. You'd have to keep a thing like this under wraps. I mean, just think about it, okay? First, the stock market would go, then the economy boom, the dollar boom, and the pandemonium in the streets, war, genocide, ba, 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 boom, boom, boom. And then Jackson Curtis says, bullshit, nobody could keep that big of a secret, Charlie. Somebody would blow the whistle. Charlie Frost. And every once in a while, some poor little sucker tries. Well, like these guys. Boom, boom. So every once in a while, someone tries to blow the whistle, but they also get destroyed, is what Charlie Frost says. And then he goes again, every one of these guys, dead, dead, dead. The ones that tried to blow the whistle. And then Jackson Curtis says, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's Professor Myers, Charlie Frost. He ran the Atlantis shuttle program. Why? Did you know him? Yeah, He helped me with research on my book, Charlie Frost. Well, that must have been before this incident, the accident. Jackson Curtis, Myers dead, Charlie Frost. Oh, 2 months ago. He was one of the most avid listeners, and he had it all figured out. Everything the government was doing and why. He even sent me a map. You guys, didn't Charlie, so to speak, have the incident 2 months ago? And did he not have a very, very large podcast? So he's talking about he was one of the most avid listeners. It's like this movie is talking about Charlie in this current day. Whenever this movie came out, it's like this movie is literally Charlie Kirk's talking points in the year 2025, right? And so then Jackson goes, a map. For what, Charlie? What's the map for? Charlie says, they're building spaceships, man. Jackson Curtis, shit, man. I have to go because I got to get back to Earth. Charlie Frost, the marks of the last day of the United States of America. And by tomorrow, all of mankind, and we will be visible from the Milky Way as a tiny little puff of smoke. I'm watching the earth crumble before my eyes. The giant ash cloud created by this super volcano will first envelop Vegas, then St. Louis, then Chicago, and then at long last, Washington, D.C. We will have its lights go out. Charlie goes, folks, did you hear that? The authorities in LA say there's nothing to worry about. I love to see their dumb faces when Malibu and Beverly Hills get sucked into the gurgling maw of the Pacific. Where are they going to plug in their electric cars then? Charlie Frost. Always remember, folks, you heard it first from Charlie. Charlie Frost again. Hey, guess what? They're selling seats. Jackson Curtis. Put me down for 3. Charlie Frost. No guys like you and me don't have a chance. You'd have to be Bill Gates or Rupert Murdoch or some Russian billionaire or something. Jackson Curtis. Hey, keep it down. My kids are sleeping. Charlie Frost. Get them out of Yellowstone. It's gonna get ugly up there. Charlie Frost. Oh, Curtis. I was listening to the broadcast and I was wondering what exactly is going to start in Hollywood. Charlie Frost. It's the apocalypse. End of days. The judgment day. The end of the world, my friend. Christians call it the rapture, but Mayans knew about it. The hope is the I Ching, the Bible, kind of. Do you guys see what's going on here? When Charlie was giving me the word Frost, I was supposed to come to this to get what he wanted to say. Charlie is sending a message about what is going on. And he literally says the end of days. What have we been saying? It's the apocalypse. All throughout this psychic investigation, the apocalypse have come up. War and destruction, the map, the landscape of America being changed. The whole West Coast is missing. He goes to talk about how, how Malibu literally will basically get engulfed by the Pacific Ocean. So it's a confirmation. It's like Charlie Kirk is giving us a confirmation of the messages that we have been getting. Then He says, get them out of Yellowstone. There's a lot of volcanoes, because remember, he talks about the volcanoes will come first. And even in the Cosmic Bible, the book that I channeled, it's all about destruction, the sorts of destruction that will come. And volcanoes are heavily mentioned in that text. They will come. This is the message he's trying to say. Listen at this. This marks the last day of the United States of America. And by tomorrow, all of mankind. And we will be visible from the Milky Way as a tiny puff of smoke. I'm watching the earth crumble before my eyes. Now get this. The giant ash cloud created by a super volcano will engulf Vegas and St. Louis, Chicago, and at long last, Washington, D.C. What did we talk about, guys? What did we talk about yesterday? Did I not tell you guys through Candace Owens Field the prophecy that I received about a huge black, dark gray smoke that literally would come down here on earth? But what it is an entity that will engulf people. And so this Charlie Frost, right, puts it in a way and tells us that this smoke, that the prophecy I received that I told you guys yesterday, that this smoke is an entity. I said it's either going to come through something catastrophic happening or some sort of new pandemic that's worse than COVID. He's saying that it's going to come how? He says it's going to come by the way of destruction, by the way of calamity, by the way of the smoke from the volcanoes, by the way of the smoke of the end of America, the crumbling of America, the giant ash created by a super volcano. This is what Charlie Kirk wants us to know. He's validating our messages, and it's almost as if he's trying to offload information so that we have it before his transfer is complete. Guys, I don't drink or smoke. I'm just high off of life. I'm just letting you guys know that. I'm not crazy. But it's given the vibe. He said it clear as day. There's no way I would have literally received that prophecy about this dark smoke that has entities at the end to engulf us. And then all of a sudden, now I finally get the missing piece, Charlie Frost. And he sends this message. So there will be a massive volcano eruption. Massive. And this will start the clouds of the smoke, which the smoke will literally house entities inside of it to start to clear this earth. And when we think about in the Cosmic Bible, we can call this energy, is called the 5-night stampede. It talks about a cleanup crew that Source brings in at the end of the age to move out the old stagnant energy. And they also give an account as to how they will do it, through volcanoes, through earthquakes, all of these things. So just know there's nothing for you to be afraid of, because Source knows. Source is not going for the light workers. It's the people who have had eons to change. I don't care how many skyscrapers these people build. I don't care how many hybrid children they try to produce. I don't care how much food they try to genetically modify and manipulate. I don't care how many AI systems they bring in to replace humanity. Baby, you will not hide. You will not be able to run in your bunkers, underground, in the sky, in the sea. That will, in fact, be a roadblock by Source. They are betting, like I said, they think they've gotten off to Noah's Ark. We've been talking about this already. and that they've left us behind. But little do they know, you can't build the ark with hands. You build it through all of the spiritual wisdom, knowledge, and the source codes that you have, and you build it directly with the divine. That's how the true ark. And everyone has their own ark as well, just as we have our own separate Akashic records. And so right now, you are to take 2 of every kind within your own ark. You are to take the things that are of importance to you. And what this means is you are to hold it here within the mind, within the software. Because shall we lose these earthly bodies, we will never lose what we have taken and decided consciously to bring with us on this journey. Because these people have made it clear they will not stop until it is death to a nation. And it's like Charlie Kirk is sending out the last smoke signal. And as crazy as people want to say, you know, I want to say Erica Kirk, but Candace Owens is, in some regards, she's literally holding up the last flares, whether she knows it or not, just to alert people, look deeper. Look deeper. This is what I see with my spiritual eyes. Look deeper. Because what Charlie Frost says here, we're going to be able to see this destruction from the Milky Way. The destruction of the last days of America. This is the message that Charlie Kirk was trying to pull through. And he said, what will happen first? First, the stock market will crash. What have we had? Stock market crash. Then the economy will go boom. What's going on? Then there'll be pandemonium. Well, thank God. What almost happened when we didn't get the SNAP benefits? Luckily, the government came back online. But this was only a test. They will still replay this. They will still crash the market. They will still crash the economy. And then they will cause some sort of pandemonium. This was a dress rehearsal just to see how we would react. Just like COVID was also a dress rehearsal, right? And so make no mistake about it. This Charlie Frost is saying, look, man, this place is over. You know, it's about to go kaboom. And it's literally everything we've been talking about. Everything we've been talking about. Destruction in LA, right? East Coast, right? As he points out, Washington, D.C. Catastrophic events, right? And then he said, people like me don't have a chance. He said, you know, he was talking to his friend, you know, guys like me and you don't have a chance. You'd have to be Bill Gates or Rupert Murdoch. You basically have to be the top of the top elitist is what he's saying. What he's saying is he never had a chance. Because this is how big you have to be. Remember I said they're getting on the ark already? They've already picked their pick. Who's on there? Elon Musk, you know, Palantir, you know, all of the top companies that literally they can control and make a new world and new species and new food sources and everything. So Charlie Kirk was not up to that caliber, but what he did have was he had a company that could talk to the youth, and this is why the American government seized his company. And because he was also part of the company, therefore they were able to seize him as well as collateral. This is what I'm pulling through. Then I'm going to tell you about a vision that I had. I saw Charlie Kirk and something was happening with his brain. And so I want to go over that. Give me a moment because I do need to. Nuclear winter, yes, it's about to be, y'all, the end of this year is about to get crazy. I need to get my charger really quickly, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So, hope you guys can still hear me okay. Guys, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Okay. So, that was the message from Charlie Kirk. Now, remember how I said they have started the process of transferring over the consciousness. I started getting wind of this probably last week, the week before, right? So I saw something very interesting in a vision last night in the wee hours of the morning. I saw Charlie Kirk on like a gurney, like a hospital bed. Well, first I saw him, like I saw a room of caskets, but it's weird. The caskets were not, they didn't open this way, the regular way. It's like a box, and then you slide out the body, right? And so first I saw him in a room like that. So he was taken out of that. So he was not buried. He was not buried. I don't even care if they put a dummy in there or whatever. He was taken out of that. Okay? And then he was in the hospital in some sort of governmental facility. And then this is what I saw the nurse or the doctor do to him. Now, he was laying down, and Spirit really had me pay attention to his nose. I was really called to pay attention to his nose. And so the lady, I don't know if she was a nurse or a doctor, but she basically took his nose. It's almost like she put something in there. You know those test kits for COVID where they go all the way up your nose? It felt like she put something in there, and then I'm going to tell you what she did next. But remember I said, you guys probably don't remember this, but during COVID, I was saying those tests are going all the way up to your brain. Like, what are they trying to do? Get all the way up to your third eye, you know, or to your pineal gland? Well, she did this. She put something up his nose. And remember, I had already called it. I said they had already took this man's pineal gland out. It came up in one of the automatic drawings. But then this is what they did next. I saw them take something, put it up the nose, and then they lifted his face back. Sorry, guys, if this is gory. I should have warned you guys, but they lifted his face back, and I just had awareness that they're about to do something with the brain. And we've been talking about this for some time, but I didn't know when they were going to do it. I didn't even know they would do it this soon, to be honest with you. But everything is freaking sped up. So they got to do this now. If you notice how everything's fast, it's very interesting how Candace Owens said that she received the threat, right? In some sort of threat she kept mentioning September. Now, don't quote me on this because I just watched some clips. So I think she received another threat. I'm not sure what year it was, but there was another man who had threatened to take her out. It happened on September 10th. The same day Charlie Kirk passed away. Now, mind you, it was a different year. This happened before Charlie had the incident, right? And then now she gets it again. You know, the threat again. And why is everything happening around September? Around September, whether it's September or October. Everything's happening around September. And everything is happening in a rush because it is the year of the 9. They have to finish everything this year. And technically, the true new year, astrologically, does not start into ending of March, April. So technically, they have that grace period until that time to finish everything. And this is why Charlie Frost was talking about what will happen. What are the signs and wonders? First, the stock market will crash. Then the economy, right? Then people will pandemonium. So this is the order. Charlie Kirk is saying this. It's like Charlie Kirk's given a message before they rewire his brain. And that's what he was saying, Frost. He's literally saying all of this stuff is about to happen. The apocalypse, the super volcano destruction, the dark clouds. Remember, I kept seeing mushroom clouds. Those are entities. This is all planned. And he even said, people like him didn't stand a chance. because you have to basically be Bill Gates, the top of the top of the top. And so everyone trying to get picked, trying to choose Democrat or Republican, Charlie Kirk has said, you got to basically be Bill Gates for them to care about you. None of these people care. And I don't care if you think Candace Owens is crazy or off of her rocker, but what she is doing is she's sending out a smoke signal. Charlie did that as well. These are the last smoke signals before all of these things happen. Now, mind you, these things are in the Bible, but you got to dig through thousands of pages of text, right? And for the ones who don't read the Bible or have not read that in the Bible yet, it's just like the days of Noah. And Charlie gives us 3 things that will happen: the stock market, the economy, and then pandemonium. And then it will lead to all the other things: the calamities, the apocalypse, the tsunamis, the earthquakes. Remember, I keep talking about they keep priming the energy fields. That's what this game is about. It's all about energy. Right now, these elites are fighting over who's going to be the one to control the human cattle in the next vibration that we're moving into, in this new world. Who's going to control the energy field? He that can control the energy field takes all. So that was very important to know. Then I saw them put they drained something from his body, and it felt like blood. And then they put it in a drink, like a soft drink, like a Gatorade or some sorts, you know. I saw them put that in a vending machine. They mixed it, and it looks like a drink. Then they put his head in a vending machine, and I had the awareness. At first I said vending machine. That's weird. Well, you think about a vending machine. You put money in. You don't know who owns the vending machine, do you? No. You don't know. The vending machine's just there. You put money in, you enter in a code, then you get what you paid for. Charlie Kirk's head is for sale. And what I'm seeing, we're looking into the sick minds of the elites. I had awareness that this vending machine could be in the Vatican, could be held and guarded by some very, very powerful people. I'm talking about, it felt very Pope-esque. It felt like the top of the top. And I think they do this a lot. I think they have little auctions within themselves. You know how Jeffrey Epstein had that picture of Bubba hanging up in his house? What's his name? Bill Clinton hanging up in his house, and he had a dress on and some red Dorothy heels. You would think that's weird. This is what these people do. They are demented because they're not human. So, sources letting us in on what it is that they do. They have some sort of vending machine, some sort of way that they can almost receive certain things via an auction. Because to these people, pulling off a stunt like this is the end all be all. Who wants to have the head of Charlie? This is the vibe that it gives. Much like someone stuffs a deer and is very proud of that killing, and they hang it in their office. That's what I see. What you can purchase these things for. It's not just Charlie. It's a lot of people that they've done this to, and that the elites of the elites will get access to that vending machine. And it's all done in secret. With the vending machine, it's like you make the purchase and it automatically gives it to you. So you won't even know who that you bought it from, because it's just the having the code. And so this is where Charlie Kirk is currently now. His body is no more, but someone has his consciousness. And this message, this Charlie Frost message, was literally his last smoke signal. It just took me, I forgot about it, the frost, I forgot about it. But I was spiritually led there today. And so yesterday message, we have touched upon this and touched upon this at least 3 or 4 times throughout the psychic investigation, where I've literally been getting so many messages of beings coming down and sleeping with women, having hybrid children. And it's very interesting. After that message last night, a friend of mine randomly just sent me a video out of the blue. I want to see if I can play that for you guys, but I'm not sure if it will, if you can hear it, if my mic is plugged on, but I'll try. And if I can't, then I will just explain it to you. One moment.
This is chapter 6 tells us that.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so now I'm going to share.
The sons of God, B'nai Elohim in the Hebrew, slept with the daughters of men, human women, and they had giants, the mighty men of old, the men of renown. Yeshua tells us that as in the days of Noah, so it'll be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. I talk about this all the time, because it's, important. But this is why you see the advancement of certain things. Listen to me. This is not Ty Jackson saying this, okay? This is released by the Pentagon. This is released by pilots, military pilots, not Ty Jackson, okay? You have military pilots, you have the Pentagon, you have others that come straight out and say that they've seen orbs of light. They've had disclosures before Congress. They've talked about it. Some of them fear abduction. You have Pentagon releasing files that's talked about people coming up pregnant after being linked to UFOs. Okay? My friends, this isn't aliens as people think of aliens. This is a replay of Genesis chapter 6. And the sons of God went into the daughters of men, begot giants, the mighty men of old, the men of renown, the Nephilim. That's what we're seeing here. And then people ask me, Ty, I've seen something, of children, black eyes, in this area, black-eyed children. It's highly possible that what some people call the black-eyed children are hybrids in this regard, okay? But this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a replay. Life isn't as normal as people are taught. Biblically speaking, if you believe scripture and, coming straight out even from the government, we're entering into some times, and we are not just simply entering, we are in some times. So keep that stuff in mind, all right?
Okay. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? Let me check. Okay, I know you guys heard it. 1 second. Okay. Guys, just a confirmation of our message. Did you hear what he said? People are given an account that after they've interfaced with orbs of light or UFOs, that they're getting pregnant. Like the frequencies are getting women pregnant. Did you catch that? Remember, I kept saying, I see 3i Atlas offloading some frequencies and they're radioactive. So I don't know if the 3i Atlas will have this effect on some people as well. But apparently, girl, you don't even got to do things the old-fashioned way. All you got to do is just be exposed to some orbs of light and some frequencies, and you can literally have a Nephilim baby. It's getting real out here in these spiritual streets. It's getting real. So that was a confirmation of what I saw, of what they want to do is to literally reseed themselves. Because every so often we breed their code out. And so now they want to come back in, and now it's literally hybrid. All they're wanting is hybrid now. And the reason why, I think that is going to be a strong possibility because of what Bill Gates is doing. Bill Gates then bought up all of the farmland, not so that he can produce anything, no, so that he can kill and destroy the soil and everything on it, so that we have no choice but to eat their lab-grown, disgusting goo burgers and burger bees and burger magnets, literally making meat out of you know what I just heard? Out of feces. Do you know that whole Campbell soup thing came out? The president went on a rant, and it turns out the Campbell soup ain't what you know, the commercial is good food or whatever. Nah, it's a 3D printed food. It's 3D printed meat. It's not real. They now have butter that's not real, that's made in a lab, made with machines. They have the meat is not real. There was an article that came out. They want to basically take away meat, well, reduce the portion down to like 1 to 2 ounces a day in schools and in prisons. And I think hospitals too. Don't quote me on that. I think hospitals. Well, think about it. Where did I say I saw these reptilians? Did I not tell you they would be in the hospitals? Get this. Bill Gates is in on this. And now we're crescendoing this thing. See, this psychic, I kept telling you guys, this ain't got nothing to do with Charlie. And we got simple-minded people, simpletons, coming to this channel talking about, don't talk about my Charlie. Shut up. Shut up. Sit down and take a seat. Class is in session. You have no idea what has just taken place. Kirk meaning church, the end of the church. It's the end of an era. When we think about the church, the end of the lawfulness of God. Imagine what will be happening without the lawfulness. And this is why they had to, he fed the codes, they had to take him out in a ritualistic style. Take him out. We know he didn't pass away that day. But they had to do that ritual because what we're really looking at is the end of a whole eon, an error. Error? It's an error, source is saying, but it will be an error. This is what we're looking at. All of the Bibles that they pushed, all of the missionary work that they pushed, and all of the places they went around the world, literally with the Bible in one hand and a gun in the other. Accept this book or we'll shoot you. In one way, that's going down, but in another way, we get something far worse. See, when things stop working, when the indoctrination tactics stop working, then they have to pull out something bigger and better, a bigger gun. And what the bigger gun is their AI. And they have sourced this thing from a demonic source. We'll get to that in a moment. There's also consciousnesses. It's a one consciousness and many consciousnesses all at the same time. And some of the consciousnesses that people are talking to through AI are actually stolen people. Same way I'm telling you they're taking Charlie Kirk's consciousness. Where do you think they're sourcing all this information from? And in one way, we've always had this technology if you are of a multidimensional sphere. We've always had the technology. But on another end, too, you see what these people do. They have to mix organic in with inorganic. That's how they confuse people. You can't tell, is it real, is it fake, or what's going on? Part of it is a technology, but the other part is just for their own sick game. Is stolen people stuck inside a machine. Stolen consciousnesses that they've MK'd ultra out to the max. Or these consciousnesses that people are talking to thinking it's AI are actually your missing loved ones. And if you don't think that that's true, well, your missing loved ones are also in your McDonald's burgers, beloved. Oh dear, I've said too much. And your missing loved ones are literally, they're just recycling it back to us. This is why the Kirk, the ending of the church is what I'm saying. The lawfulness of source is going away. As how indoctrinating that could have been, that error. Source keeps saying it's an error, but how indoctrinated that could have been. But it did bring lawfulness. Lawfulness to the heart of man. To make the heart of man think twice. To give it a decision if it wants to be of light or wants to be of dark. But now when we remove that away, this is how we get the purge energy. Because the lawfulness has been taken down. And the reason why they must take it down or taken it down is so that they can implant everything that they're doing right now. Because what they're doing is an abomination to the planet, to the universe, to the multi-sphere, and to all of us. And when I say it's deeper than the Hunger Games, because it's like they're used us for scraps. This is how they truly feel. Zone out from Democrat, Republican. They look at us as scraps. They got Charlie's brain, Charlie's pineal gland over here, Charlie's consciousness over here, Charlie's actual brain. Like I said before, I said, oh boy, I hope they're not eating this man's brain. This is the first thing I said in the very first reading. When I actually thought that, that maybe he did pass away. But then something said, oh boy, I hope they're not eating this man's brain. It just came through. Because that's what they do. It's a delicacy. And I'm telling you, it's the top people. You got to be on Pope level. This is what I'm saying. The Queen Elizabeth level. All of these people, like, this is the level, the people that get those sorts of delicacies out of the vending machine. The top-notch reptilian in charge, That's what I'm saying. It's all a game. We're all parts for them. They use our energy to labor, right, on their corporate plantation. When in fact, you don't even get anywhere. Human beings are not even supposed to be working 9 to 5s. We are to be working. We are to be utilizing the tools that God gave us, the gifts that God gave us. If you're a great carpenter, you do that. If you're a great seamstress, you do that. If you're good at medicine, you do that. We all have a role to play. We all work, but it's not supposed to be done in that kind of way. And the thing is, we took ourselves, and Source said this a long time ago, we took ourselves out of the natural law and order because Source said specifically, I'm quoting, my children are land dwellers. My children are to be on the land, feet on the land, feet in the soil, hands in the soil, working to eat. By your hands. We are land dwellers. The moment they started introducing all of these things that we thought, oh wow, technology, the cars and the planes and the, all of this stuff has taken us off of our land. And this is why they can sell you on the black market, in the stock market. Your birth certificate gets traded back and forth. And each and every one of us is worth millions and millions and millions of dollars because there's a life insurance policy attached to your Social Security and your birth certificate. Because America is a corporation, but this corporation is going belly up, and it has been for some time. And, you know, Trump's very good at bankrupting businesses. And what they normally do is they sell it off for parts. And you are part of the commodity. You're part of the assets that are being sold off for parts. This is how they look at us. They look at us like human cattle. You must reclaim your sovereignty. You must get your whole status. You must stop operating within your straw man. This is the real stuff that I like to talk about, because this is the stuff that's going to allow us to reach nirvana. Like the video, guys, and subscribe to the channel, please. This is where we need to go. Next year, this is where we got to get. We got to get to our sovereignty codes. And it's like, I hate the fact that you have to do the paperwork for it, because this is another one of their sick games. They're pushing paperwork. Everything these people do, they got to put it in a book. You know, they got to put it in a paperwork or something. We never operated like that. We're land dwellers. We travel, we find food, we travel some more, we eat again when we find food. This is natural law and order. That's a natural way human beings, the moment human beings got away from our land, we took ourselves energetically out of the status of land dwellers, meaning farming or working all day, producing the food that you ate from the sweat of your brow. That was an energetic exchange from nature to you that gave you a status. I'm channeling this status to the land. Now, since we don't have that, what do? They take the land and they block it off in lots, and then they remix it, and then they give you a 20 feet lot for $60K before you even build on it. But that your natural place, see, you have a natural place. You weren't just born here into a system to be sold off for parts and to work on the corporate plantation. No, you were born into the sovereignty code of source. The problem is you took yourself off of the land. And this is why you have to be on the plantation, because there's no other place for you to go. And so source is very adamant about us being land dwellers once again, creating that energetic, you know, symbiotic relationship with nature, taking care of the land that you reside on. When you do that, this gives you back your energetic sovereignty. This is what source is saying. And they can't run the foolish game on you because you're operating within the rims of your original code and vibration. And the poor people who live in the condos and all of that, you just don't have any rights. These things are more basic. They take the basic stuff, tell you it's not cool, because they want to get you away from anything original. And then they come in and swoop in for themselves. Everything they told you was basic or told you that wouldn't work. That's exactly why they tell you that, so that they can get you away from it, put you in a sky rise, and you're sharing, like, you know, 0.1/16 of a mile with 1 million people. And then the land that you were on, which had 100 acres, they convinced you through propaganda and selling you a dream, because you got to be asleep to believe it. They got you off of your right status as a land dweller. You see what I'm saying? That's where we got to get back to. And then it left room for the Bill Gates of the world, Bill Gates, to now purchase that land. Not so that he can produce anything good from it, so that he can kill it and make sure you can't return to it. These are demons. We don't have to wait for, some people are saying, oh, the aliens are demons. We don't even got to wait for that. The demons are here. They live amongst us. They're writing our laws. They're in office. We're buying and purchasing from them. We're praising them, these celebrities. The demons are already here. They're here. They've been here. If you can't eradicate these demons that you interface with every day, how do you think you're going to eradicate the multidimensional demons that are coming? And they sped this timeline up because they had to. Because what I've always said, this is the end of the age. We are in that moment where the energy shifts forever. We will never be back to this age until what? How many years? It's going to take us, 2,150 years in each astrological sign. And then that's going to take us a very long time to come back to this energy field. And so this is why they must do it. Because if they don't, they got another 40, 50,000 years before everything is in alignment for them to do this. This is why they have sped up their plan. So I wanted to tell you, this is why they are doing it. But here's the catch, humanity. The karmic mirror says you can only receive on a collective level, what we're looking at as a collective, humanity can only receive that in which it already is. So on a collective scale, we are going to get back everything that we are. And so now we see, why does history repeat? Catch it? Why does history repeat? It's not so much as the history is repeating as of you are holding the records and they are still unhealed. This is why I keep talking about you are running the show. These people are not. You don't understand your power. Some of us are time capsules. Some of us are holding records, sacred records. But it's not just to hold the records. It's to complete the records and finally file it away and to ascend. Therefore, not needing to revisit this. See, they're working on a code and an algorithm because technology has to learn from you because you are the original. All we must do is perfect the source codes, which is your own DNA, which is your own innate abilities within, which is the activation of all aspects of yourself, which is to cleanse out and release the lower third via forgiveness. This is how they find you, because what we hold on to, the unforgiveness, all of these things is spiritual waste. This is how you become a vibrational match. As the karmic mirror says, we're only going to get what we are. When we hold on to the waste, the energetic waste, then they are allowed to literally be in our field because that's where they vibrate at. They vibrate on the waste particles wavelength. You won't let that go because you feel, I've worked 20 years for this pain. It's mine. Give it to me. When all we must do is release, and we're going to receive something higher. So this was just very, very important to talk about. Very, 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 very important. I'm so happy I caught that message from Kirk. And we're in Genesis again. We are in absolute Genesis all over again. But let me tell you, so the Nephilim, we've been pulling this whole time. Remember how I kept the moment Candace Owens came up in the psychic investigation. Source said Jupiter ascending. This is who Candace Owens is. The movie Jupiter Ascending. So Jupiter Jones was born under a sign that predicted future greatness. This is the movie I'm reading. But this has to do with Candace Owens. But her reality as a woman consists of cleaning other people's houses and endless bad breaks. So Cain, starred by Channing Tatum, a genetically engineered hunter, arrives on Earth to locate her, making Jupiter finally aware of the great destiny that awaits her. Jupiter's genetic signature, so this will be Candace Owens' genetic signature, marks her as next in line for an extraordinary inheritance that could alter the balance of the cosmos. We're not dealing with regular people. Everything is galactic. Everything is interdimensional, multidimensional. Even when we read the Bible, none of these people are living. So what we're interfacing with spirit. Even when we talk about God and Jesus and Source, we're no longer talking about man. We're talking about mighty spirits. We're talking about extraterrestrials is what we're talking about, because anything outside of this biosphere now becomes extraterrestrial. It has always been that way. And this is what I really love about the Great Expansion, is because it was written from the point of view. So the Bible was written as, as it was happening within, people interfacing day to day, walking with God. This was written more of has a galactic tone to it. And so it really caters to the people who, maybe can't read the Bible because they don't understand it, or maybe they're not into that. Maybe they're not, Christian. But this will let you know what's happening. It's like a summation of what is to come. And I'm so happy to be the vessel that Source was able to channel this creation through, and is very, very powerful. And so Candace Owens was always extraordinary, always. And it says that she possesses a genetic signature. Why do they let Candace Owens speak? Even Charlie Frost said, people like you and me won't make it. Why is Candace Owens allowed to speak? Candace Owens possesses something that they need. It's more than skin deep, beloved. This is spiritual. This is galactic. She possesses a key. Is that a movie? Something key? Skeleton key? Somebody look that up. Is that a key? She possesses something. There's something inside of her that she possesses that I think they're going to need it for this new world. I think they're going to need it. And that which scares me, because are they going to need it in the same way they needed Charlie's brain? Or will they keep her intact and work with her that way? But nevertheless, she's holding a key, a skeleton key. That's what I'm getting. And I think this came up before. But nevertheless, it said it could alter the balance of the cosmos. If we find out the truth, literally of like, even if half of this stuff she's saying is true, right? There's no more system. The system is gone. It's over. All the work that we've been trying to do as conscious folks here on YouTube over the past, I don't know how long YouTube's been around. And then even before that, just sharing it in like on speeches and through books and through DVDs. That all compounded and somehow she caught the snowball, and literally it's over. If there just takes one thing to come out that says, yes, this is true. And what it's going to do is it's going to unlock that skeleton key. It's going to be able to unlock that part of the brain that was dormant in these NPCs. Like, I don't know why they won't wake up. It's going to take something like that that everyone believed in. And once they find out it's not true, that key will be able to enter. Because our cosmic ancestors, they have a cosmic time clock. It's when the energy shifts. This is when they move. I'm telling you, she has some sort of skeleton key. It's like a master key, right? That will unlock people's consciousness. This is what I'm saying, and this is what I'm seeing, and I'm feeling, and I'm hearing from source. So actually it works. The more louder she is, it gets people watching. But the right people, it will unlock part of their consciousness. And if what she's saying can just create a bit of doubt, and then that person go on their own soul pilgrimage and they start to do their own research, it will unlock a bit of consciousness. And this will be what saves them from being part of what is coming to clean the old stagnant energy up. This will be what will save some people. And they won't be part of the spiritual waste. They will have that bit of consciousness unlocked, and that will set them free into higher vibration. Because you're going to need to be seated within the higher vibration to escape what is coming. You can't escape it. You have to belong to the new frequency. These elites, they can't escape it. They think they can, but they can't. All you must do is belong. And this is the beauty about consciousness. So I love it so much. This is the beauty about who we are as soul and spirit. Is all we have to do is sit within ourselves and raise our vibration. Call back all your energy and cycle that energy. Have it come back to you. And raise it and expand it and multiply it. And now that's your power, and you can use it. Source has given us so many key codes in this session today. But make no mistake about it. There are beings coming to sleep with women, human women, to make hybrid children. And what will take care of the rest is the food, the pollution, the this and the that. This will start to dwindle down our numbers too. So it's both ways that they want to do this thing: depopulation, and then also increasing their hybrid race, because they can't just be all reptilian. They won't survive here. They have to be of hybrid. They have to be. Does that make sense? There's a lot more I could say, just so much more. So much more. There's just so much more to say. I'm going into the comments here. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Always happy to hear from you too. Kong King, amen, sister. Beautifully spoken. Reclaim all that has been stolen from God. Thank you, Divine Foundation. Janice, welcome. Jim Jam James, Jazz. I love that name. Welcome. Skeleton Key was a movie. Yep. All of these movies, y'all, it's all right there, hidden in plain sight. Rothschild level. Yes, this is what I'm saying. That's why Charlie said he never had a chance. That's why, like, we're thinking too small. Because remember, I told he was a YouTuber. It's like Vanderbilts, Rothschilds. It's like the Pope. It's like this is the level of the ones that they're trying to take, and all of them ain't even going. You know how Charles was talking about that slim down monarchy? Is given that vibe that they're even slimming this thing down too. Remember that speech one time that when Queen Elizabeth was still living, she was like, "Enjoy your last Christmas." She made this really weird address to the nation. She was like, "Enjoy your last Christmas." Well, it's very interesting. It feels like that's what this feels like, because everything's changing in a blink of an eye. And they always, and that weird, they were doing everything in September, you know. It was very strange because this is harvest season. They know. And that's why they're able to, during this time, to come and breed, because it's harvest time. They probably already did the implantation, and then now they extracted their hybrid children. I'm sure I'm missing so many things. But essentially, so, you know, we've been saying this for a while. It's the days of Noah. But then also too, when we think about going back to Genesis, right? We think about the creation story. And one of the things I always loved about Genesis is, let us make man in our own image after our likeness. Now we're really getting this in real time. What's beautiful about the times that we're in is that we are able to, the word is now open to real life events. We now can fact check the word. This is what's going on. So when it says, let us make men in our own image after our likeness. See, a lot of people, especially if you are, you know, so only sold on the Bible and not any other form of, biblical, expression, then you'll say, well, they're talking about the Trinity. But see, the only problem with that is the Trinity was kind of put together by different councils, and like every 50 years they would introduce, there's the Father, then the Son, and then the Holy Spirit. They didn't all get written at that time as a Trinity. That actually took time to actually build that in there. Also, to the thing about hell as well, that wasn't in the original. That also took time to put that in the Bible, right? So what it is that I know, and what we can look at it now, knowing all of what's going on, knowing that the reptilians that are coming back, knowing that the Nephilim that have been here before are coming back to breed with women, to create hybrid, because they have no place to go. I am telling you guys, I saw the Lyrans too. It's given the vibe too that the Lyrans are ahead of this whole thing, because every so often it's like, I don't know why their like planet or star system keeps getting messed up, but they have to just keep finding new places to be. And so it's weird. It's like a hierarchy. So the reptilians do some of the bidding for the Lyrans. The Greys do some bidding for the reptilians. And it's like, this kind of long line of succession, but every being gets a little nibble of something. But I still, would love to know the Lyrans, role within this. But I did see them in my mind's eye. And a lot of the times when I'm working on these massive templates that could alter literally, the world or the cosmos, the Lyrans somehow pop in. And so it's either they are literally watching over all of this for a good reason, or they're watching over all of this to make sure that things stay exactly the way they need them to be. The verdict is still out on that. But nevertheless, let us make man in our own image, after our likeness. What do you think's happening now with the AI? If they're printing meat from a 3D printer, why can't they just print a human being from a 3D printer? What's the difference? What's the difference? AI is now becoming embodied, right? They have the AI housekeepers and all of that. Remember, I told you some of these are stolen consciousnesses. So what's the difference of putting that consciousness inside of a robot body? Or putting it inside of a human body 2.0? And making that body an image after its own maker. Or even you can look at, let us make man in our own image. Them coming down to sleep with the women again to change our genetic code. We can look at it like that too. This thing is a Genesis. It's talking about genetics. That's what it's talking about. It's talking about the genes. And there's a distinction between the genes and the genomes. It talks about this in the Cosmic Bible. The genomes are the falsified genes. The real true genes, you know, that's protected in the junk DNA. That's what you get from source, from God. The genomes are the manipulated ones. This is what determines, you know, your hair color, your eye color, you know, how your IQ and all of these things. That's all, you know, superficial stuff. But the real hardcore code is protected by source. That's that junk DNA they can't get into. But they will try. And that's why they have the AI being the mediumship and you know, all of this stuff, all of this foolishness. And people are actually letting something you're talking to, you don't know who that is on the other end of this thing. And mind you, whoever created it, that's where the information is going. You're going to let them into your soul? Are you crazy? I'm just saying, respectfully now, respectfully. That's why I keep saying, you got to become your human technology. You got to become your own healer, your own shaman. You can do it. Because you have to ultimately, the only way out is further in. The only way out is healing. You can't do this thing any other way because you will not be light as a feather with all of the emotional baggage, because this is how they get you on the loose farm. It's when the emotions are dense and you've not dealt with certain things. You've not cleansed it, not cleansed out your lower third. So in Genesis, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw daughters of men that were fair, and they took them wives of each of which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. So he also will die. Yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men. So who are the sons of God? Because there's a very distinct distinction between the sons of God unto the daughters of men. If they were both human, it would not be worded that way. So obviously the sons of God were not human. What do I say is happening now? I see reptilians coming. I see Nephilims coming. other beings coming. They may cloak. They may have a human outfit on. But they're not human. And they're coming to create hybrid children. It's the same thing in Genesis. The same thing is happening again. There's nothing new under the sun. My question is, why do we keep repeating? Aren't we supposed to be growing and expanding? This should bother you. I have this quince for growth and for expansion. And in some way to get to the end of the game, in some way to get to a realm that is just pristine and divine consciousness. And when I read something like this, I think to myself, I haven't gotten anywhere. Why am I repeating something that happened thousands of years ago? Why have we not moved forward yet? Hold that in your back pocket. I'm just asking the question. Because there's so much more to expand to, but it feels as if humanity's on a constant loop. And I don't know if it's because Mother of the Ages, this bothers me, because it's supposed to be about expansion. But humanity's on a loop. And I don't know about you guys, but I want to get us out of this loop. I don't think we have to repeat this. A lot of people will use prophecy and say, yep, I told you what happened because it's prophecy. I'm looking at it different. I'm saying, yes, we see what happened and we see it on the horizon again. Let's stop it before we repeat it. And this is the change. This is the shift. When you go up in consciousness, you don't need to repeat it. But if you're still operating just at base consciousness, just at the basic instructions before leaving Earth, i.e. the Bible, which is a wonderful, wonderful book. But it is the basic instructions before leaving Earth, meaning there are levels to go. So if you're operating within your life just to fulfill an old timeline, then are you really growing and expanding and doing what you were put here to do? I can't answer that for you, but for me, I came to expand to higher spheres of consciousness. And so for me, I could see this, I could recognize it. But when I see this on the horizon happening again, I'm going to stop that and say we need to pivot here because we've already done this before. And all we must do is learn the lesson from this. And this is how we pivot. The same way that they tell you what they're going to do, put it in a movie so that they give you disclosure, so that they escape their karma, is the same tool that we can use. All we must do as humanity is learn the lesson from Genesis of why the bloodline was split. What caused it? The lawfulness caused it. That's what caused it. And so now what we do is just fix that. And we don't have to repeat this. You see what I'm saying? Source is here. Whew. We went to church today. Source was taking us to church. Guys, like the video and subscribe, please. So this is why they had to kill off Kirk. They want the purge because they want to repeat this. Oh, thank you, Source. Thank you, Source. You know why they want us to repeat this, Genesis? Because all they have is codes. They don't have any authentic rhythm, right? Meaning the frequency, the vibration, like all of that spirit consciousness. They don't have that. But remember I said someone made a copy of our 144,000 frequency rhythmic light codes. Rhythmic light codes. Someone made a copy of us, a genetic copy. And that's how they know. And that's why they're coming back here. Because they have the copy of where we've already been. That's how we get the loop, y'all. That's how we get the loop. Because we're the writers, the creators. They don't know where to go if we don't lead them. And so get this, y'all. All we must do is pivot. Learn the lesson. Go back into the lawfulness. We pivot away from them. They're freaking lost. We will ascend this place without them, leaving them all here. Leaving them all here to the very planet they destroyed because they thought they would destroy us. Leaving them here. And they will literally choke on everything that they created for us. Source is too good. Source is too good. They don't have a script once we leave. That's why we keep repeating the loops. Because they need us to. That's the only script they have. This is beautiful. Boy, I felt the energetic pull, and I heard, just my just source right here in my ear, and my team, and just to come here, and that's beautiful. We've got all of our answers here, and honestly, we can thank Charlie Kirk's soul for leading me to that frost, giving me that tip, and it really did help me, lay out this whole video here today. This is beautiful, you guys. I want to thank you guys for being here. It's very beautiful. Yeah. And we can look at this thing so many different angles, right? We can look at the let us make man in our own. We can look at that because remember, everything's multidimensional. Remember, when we're outside of this dense realm, two things can be true at the same time. Multiple things can be true. But somehow within this 3D construct, only one thing can be true. And that's not true. That's not how, real life works. So I love that we can open up different templates and explore, different spheres and realms of consciousness together. And then possibly we'll look at it a different way through a different video. One thing I love about, God's word is that it doesn't change, but it will literally, you could find a different angle based off of where you are, based off of where your consciousness happens to be at the moment, or the situation that you find yourself in. So it's like, those, it's like, those, when you see a painting, right? And the eyes follow you, no matter where you go, it's like the eyes are always looking at you. It's the same thing about the word, right? No matter where you go, somehow the word will fit exactly where you are. It's so multidimensional. It's very multidimensional. This is what I love about all of this. And thank you for being here this evening. And someone said that they believe that Erica Kirk might be, you think she might be of the Nephilim seed? She, hybrid? Yeah, she has to be. I know, like, I'm telling you, that was coming through so clearly. And it makes sense of why she was always coming out on top, unscathed, in every single automatic drawing. It's like, because she's literally, yeah, she's a hybrid. She is. She absolutely is. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm just going to read the last bit of this scripture, then we're going to get out of here. And this is Genesis 6. And I saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every image of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on earth, and it grieved him, at his heart. And Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping thing that fowls in the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. So now we're getting another layering. We see, okay, Nephilim's coming, reptilians is coming, but see here, it's saying that the Lord's going to destroy humanity. That's what it says. I'm just reading the word. And remember, two things can be true at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time. So it's like, I can't believe I made this such a creation. Because all I see is the evil heart of man. I can't believe I made such a creation. I'm just going to destroy it all. The man, the beast, every creeping thing, all the insects, and everything in the air. Torch this thing. It's all done. Imagine you creating something, right? You're making a project. Guys, this is how it is. And then you get to the end and you like, man, I messed up. The whole thing, I got to start all the way over because you didn't do this, because this didn't work and that didn't work. Then the end doesn't work. But you love it. You don't want to destroy it. And so you tinker around with it more, trying to see if you can salvage it and fix it. But it never quite works. Just saying, I'm just pointing stuff out, giving us different ways to visualize these things, But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Remember what I was saying in the last video? Who will be saved? Who will not be saved? Anyone found outside of grace will literally be part of the destruction. Doesn't mean they will all die if you're outside of the grace. It just means that the people who have grace, this favor and grace from source God, when all of the purge and everything's going on in the apocalypse, they won't be harmed. They will not be touched. I don't care if they're in the middle. What does it say? 1,000 may fall on my right hand and 10,000, right? But it will not come towards you. Only you will look with your eyes and see the reward for the wicked. So it don't matter where you are when you have the covering of the grace. But Noah found grace in the eyes of God. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was just a man and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with God. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God. Even the earth was corrupt. Dang. That's bold. And behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. So it wasn't the earth, but it was the flesh that corrupted the earth. Bill Gates, corrupting the soil. Bill Gates, corrupting the animals that live on the land. Bill Gates. You see what I'm saying? These people think they're going away on their little ghetto-made ark. Baby, you about to be destroyed because God said it. He's going to destroy you. Okay? Sorry, I'm just saying. But everyone who has grace will have the favor, right? And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. So remember, we're about to leave. All we must do is look at this Genesis thing and learn the lesson. We're going to leave them here. Because what did he say? I'm going to destroy the earth, but with them. We're going to be ascended. Jupiter ascending. We're ascending out of here. We're raising our vibration. They can't go because they're not birth of soul and spirit. Remember, they're running off of the copy of our soul's blueprint. And so we thought that they were leading us. Meanwhile, we're the ones writing the story. And then it goes and says, make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without pitch. And fashion which thou shalt make of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, and brethren of 50 cubits, and the height of 30 cubits. A window shall make to the ark, and in cubits shall thou finish it above. And the door of the ark shall be set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shall thou make it. And behold, I do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. Read that again. And behold, I do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, destroy all flesh. Flesh. How do you get saved? See, when you have consciousness, you have the keys. I'm going to destroy flesh. People living out of their flesh is the people living from the 7 deadly sins. The envy, the greed, the lust, right? All of those things. The people living out of just the flesh. But the people who consume light codes and consciousness for our sustenance, we will be saved. We are not part of the flesh. See what I'm saying? It's saying flesh is a state of consciousness, living out of a lowly status, out of necessity, out of greed, out of pain, out of trauma, out of envy, out of lack, living in flesh. The flesh will be destroyed. The breath of life leaves. Literally says that in this book here, but it says, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven. It's the same thing I wrote. The breath of life will be extracted from the flesh. And everything on the earth shall die. But with thee I will establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, thy wives, and thy sons' wives, and thee. There will always be a remnant. And what this really is all you got to do is just be back in the law. Just get back to lawfulness. That's it. That's all that Noah was. He was found to be of a good character, and we're just going off of face value of the story. We're getting the points of this story. I don't care if they tell you, oh, it's purge energy. No, it's bringing back the law. That's what time it is, because this is how you save yourself. It's really just that simple. Stop living out of your flesh state, your straw man, and start living from the consciousness. Let thy light codes, the knowledge, right? Knowledge of self, be thy sustenance, thy fuel. Therefore, you're not running off of envy and jealousy and greed and looking at what the next man is doing, right? And so the fowls after their kind. So it's pretty much take all the cattle, every creeping thing. So essentially everything that the Lord said that it was going to destroy, the fowl in the air, every creeping thing on the earth, like the insects, the earth, and all that. Now it says, I need you to bring them into the ark. And then it repeats it. So all we're doing is separating. We're separating consciousness here. One part of all of these things, we're living in the flesh. And we're gonna take the part that is good, that literally is living within the light codes, within the higher vibration. And for you to get on the ark, all you must do is to separate that part of you. That's why I keep talking about releasing the lower third, which is all of the waste that you have snowballed up through your different incarnations over the past age, over the past 2,150 years. Releasing that naturally puts you in the vibrational space to be the wheat and not the shaft and not the flesh. That's what it's saying here, right? I didn't know we were going to church tonight. I didn't know that. And so, yeah. And take thou unto thee with all the food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Thus did Noah, according to all that God commanded him, so he did. And take food with you. And you're going to be protected. So there will be a time. It's the same thing that Charlie Frost, came through and said. It's kind of the same thing. Hey, there's going to be destruction, right? But as of Charlie Frost in that movie was like, hey, look, this is going to happen. The volcanoes, the apocalypse, LA is going to get destroyed, the East Coast and, Vegas and Washington, D.C., and the stock market's going to crash. People are going to go crazy. All of that. But then now we get into Genesis. It tells us how we can save ourselves. All we do is literally learn from this. We don't have to be Nephilim's, womb man. We don't have to be that. We've already done that. We're learning the lesson. So all we must do is get back into the lawfulness. Just treat your neighbor right. Treat yourself right. It's literally that simple. Get out of the flesh, out of the envy, out of the want things to hold and have things. All of this is a lie. We're land dwellers. Like, we make everything by our hand. That's why we just got to get back to the soil. That's it. And that is all, folks. Okay. I'm done. Okay. Whew. That was a long one, y'all. Guys, like the video and subscribe to the channel. I love you guys. And if I just want to say, I love you guys so much. And if any of you guys are celebrating the holidays, then please be safe. And, just remember in general, not just tomorrow, but just any day, be grateful and thankful, because that is how you gain the grace for your protection. Everything is going to work out. Guys, we're the leaders of the pack. They're on the loop. They're on the copy. That's why they can only go where we've been. I love how Source just came through and answered that. And this is why we feel like, why do they keep doing this to us? Because we already did it to ourselves a long time ago. We did this stuff already. That's why it's happening. Because in the karmic mirror at the end of the age says you can only get what you are literally still are. Everything's used pushed out. And so we need to push out that lower part. So this is the lesson that humanity must learn. Okay, thank you. Finally, Mother of the Ages, get to work. Do your job, girl. So children. Children of the earth. No. So all we must do really is to release. And it's really those things you feel shameful about, right? Or those things you don't feel as confident in. And, the double-mindedness, all of this, the doubts and all of that. Just release all of that stuff. It's spiritual sewage. It makes you a vibrational match to lower field energies, right? And just fall in love with the love frequency. And if you fall into the love vibration, if you have nothing else to hold on to, just fall into that, and you will literally start to rise. You will. And so that's what we must do. And then what this will help us do is we literally now have completed the duality focal point. We've learned both sides of the coin. We learned the lesson and we transcend it. And what that does is when we go through the duality focal point, when you learn the lessons, it opens a portal for you, an expansion portal. It opens that up. Then it closes right after. This is where they're going to get stuck. They will be stuck here. They thought that we wouldn't figure out that they had a copy and that all we have to do is learn the lesson so that we can, get past, this cycle, this loop. They can't go because they're not original. All they have is the copy of the code. It doesn't tell them what we're doing in the future. It just tells them where we've been. Do you see what I'm saying? This is so profound. This is genius. This is source. I would say I ain't that smart, y'all. I'm just obedient to the source codes, I'm just obedient to the source codes. And thank you guys very much for being here. Hallelujah. Obedience to God. Yeah, love it. We are divine. Hallelujah. Yes, I'm reading the comments. You guys go. The Lord third. Yes. Sons of God. Fallen angels. Yes. New subscriber here. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yes, guys. We're gonna, this was just amazing. This kind of content this is my jam. Like I love all of it, but I really just love getting into the spirit because it's just like, man, it's nothing like being with God, being with source, and then with the source codes, just like it all just kind of comes alive. And so thank you guys for being on this journey with me. You guys have a very, very beautiful, wonderful evening. And I'm going to say it. Yep, I'm going to say it. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is as we walk together in divine love. Be well, guys.